if you have a thought that you appreciate her, or you find her really sexy wearing that dress, or she did something in bed that really turned you on, she doesn't normally do, but she did it, don't keep that thought in your head. Share it with her, right? Like, share an experience so that you have more of these sexually pleasing experiences and memories, so that you're both more likely to want to bond that way sexually. Welcome to What I Love About Sex, where some incredible guests and I, Steph Kanowski, will be bringing you the tools for improving your sex life with topics such as sex issues with your partner, sexual self-confidence, premature ejaculation, sexual shame, masturbation, sharing your fetishes, orgasmic pleasure, and more. Sex is still so taboo, and I personally believe that by improving our understanding and communication skills around sex, we can enhance our own self-pleasure as well as deepening our long-term romantic relationships. So listen in, try to stay open-minded, and let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on the What I Love About Sex podcast. Today, we're talking about how you can be better in bed. And this is such an important tip. I'm actually going to be sharing a ton of tips on my masterclass coming up, Mastering the Art of Her Pleasure. And you can join. The link is in the description of this show. Use the code April Masterclass. By today, actually, is the last day you can use that code, and you will get a discount. But I'm going to be emailing you, though, those of you who's, I'm going to be emailing those of you who signed up a form that you could submit personal questions on. So I want to make sure this is really catering to you personally, as well as teaching a group. I will have a presentation. So it will be a presentation along with answering your personal questions, and you can ask personal questions if you are able to attend live. This will be April 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So go ahead and sign up. Can't wait to see you guys there. All right. So I want to talk about how to be better in bed, how to be a better lover. And in this podcast, I'm going to be sharing one tip that is so important and so essential. And I feel like I've been trying to get the message across, but I haven't thought of it as clearly as I am thinking about it right now. So I'm like, let's do the topic on this for the podcast. And that is notice shit. Notice shit about her, especially during sex. All right, here's what I mean. For example, I'm going to use my boyfriend as an example. He is the only person I am fucking right now, so there are many examples just with Andrew, and he allows me to share things. So something that he does is he will call out afterwards. Whoa, almond stuck in my throat. He will say things like, "Babe, you were riding me for so long. That was so hot." Yeah, I have been riding him for a really long time lately. It's really funny. We keep joking about it. But that's another point. Like, when you call things out, it becomes like this cute little joke that you have, and you bond over it, and it's either funny or it's this sexy thing you do, but you can't bond over anything that's not acknowledged. And what happens is that when you guys are so obsessed with your performance and your dick, and you think that your dick size and your performance is what makes the sex experience great, you forget about the actual experience, and you don't pay attention to the actual experience. And if you're not paying attention and you're not noticing anything about her, and you're not mentioning anything afterwards, sex becomes this awkward thing, or this thing that is more about you and doesn't feel about her at all, and you're not bonding over it, and it gets to the point where it's like, why even fucking have it? And I think that there are more women out there, generally speaking, that want to have a certain kind of sex for it to be worth it. And there's more guys that are like, at least I'm getting sex. And women are like, it's not even worth it. I don't come. I don't feel connected to him. I don't feel like he's really in the moment with me. I feel like he's somewhere else. He's just always about what his dick is doing, and it's not worth it. right? So what makes it worth it is when you are actually in the moment, noticing things, picking up on things, and showing her that you notice them and that you acknowledge them. Like the example I used with my boyfriend, like calling something out that I did, even saying something like, it doesn't always have to be about her either. It could be, oh man, when you did this to me, that felt fucking incredible. Oh man, you don't usually do it like this. Most of the time you do it like this, but this time, oh my God, babe, that was awesome. You're acknowledging something she did. You're bringing this sense of joy and joy is a weird word, but like excitement over this sexual experience, and you're looking at it in this fond way where you both now have a positive sex experience. And you need to have more positive sex experiences than you do negative. Otherwise, sex is not going to be as desired by either of you, but mostly women, because as I mentioned, generally speaking, most women will not have sex if it's not worth it. All right. So I want you to think about how often you are having sex and something feels really good, or she does something that's super sexy and it really gets you hard in that moment. And in the moment, you're like, oh man, this is hot. But you never say anything to her. You never acknowledge it. Like, and even when it's happening, you're just like, what is my dick doing? Like, start being aware of how much attention you're putting on your performance versus actually being with her. And then being able to communicate with her about what just happened. Because there's not much to communicate about and talk to her about if you're always in your head and it's all about you and your performance. And I know there's some of you that are like, no, I'm just obsessed with her pleasure and obsessed with her body. And I love watching her tits bounce and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, do you ever tell her that? Like, I have clients that will say the nicest things about their partner or tell me sexual compliments that they think about their partner. And then I'll ask them, did you tell her this? And they're like, no, but I'm sure she knows. Like, no, she doesn't know, and I stress this point a bunch. And I've said this in other podcasts where it's like, if you have a thought that you appreciate her or you find her really sexy wearing that dress, or she did something in bed that really turned you on, she doesn't normally do, but she did it, don't keep that thought in your head. Share it with her, right? Like, share an experience that you have more of these sexually pleasing experiences and memories so that you're both more likely to want to bond that way sexually. You can't stay in your head about these things. And there are even guys out there, and I'm sure some of you guys listening, where it's like, if I mention these things, she'll have less sex with me. Like, no, she won't. If you share more of these experiences and she's having less sex with you, chances are that means that the relationship needs some work and you need to communicate more around things besides sex. So that's telling you that there's another problem. And if you don't have that problem communicating around your relationship and you have a lot of trust with each other, then these types of conversations and calling out this stuff will only benefit your sex life. Will only make you guys more comfortable with sex, with each other sexually, and you'll have all these sexually positive memories to share together, and that's so impactful. It's so important. I was actually sharing with a client recently who has trouble expressing himself emotionally and romantically when he's with a partner. I was saying, hey, like, think about it in terms of being more personal with her when you share a compliment, because it's really easy if you're uncomfortable emotionally to say things like, oh, that sex was great, versus, oh man, babe, sex with you is incredible. You're so fucking sexy, and the way you do this drives me crazy. See what a difference that is? One is the sex is great. The other is you are great. Or my experiences with you are great. See how much more personal that is? Even having a conversation is a good step, So even if you're like, all right, we never even talk about sex after we have it. Just talking about it and saying like, babe, that was great. That felt amazing. You're amazing. Is a good place to start. Okay? So noticing shit. Next time you have sex, notice what turns you on most about it, and actually look for that, because that might help you be more in the present moment when you're intentionally looking for what's turning you on most? Is it the way that she's moaning? Is it the face she makes when she orgasms? Is it her tits bouncing up and down as you're fucking her? Is it her ass and how you slap it and how good it feels to slap it and jiggle it? Is it her waist and holding on to her waist? Is it her, the way she has intense eye contact with you? Like, what are these things that your partner is doing during sex that really brings you in that moment of pleasure? And like I said, try to look for it next time you have sex. Like, what do you find most captivating about your partner sexually? And even notice, like, when your dick gets hardest and you feel the most turned on, what is happening in that moment? What are you doing? Are you doing a certain position? Is she doing something? Is she talking dirty to you? Are you talking dirty to her? Like, this is how we become more aware sexually. And it's something that a lot of people don't do because they have this certain definition of sex where it's not about exploring the whole experience. It's about, all right, foreplay, sex, cleanup, and that's not what sex is. That's a very lame definition or description of sex. It doesn't have to be that way. And when we can be in the moment, and when you can be in the moment and be present and actually be looking for ways to experience pleasure in different ways, then you are less obsessed with your dick and your performance. You have therefore less anxiety and you're more relaxed, which means you could be more aroused, which means you're able to explore different things and not freak out about it. Everything works better when you focus on pleasure. So I hope this makes you more aware of taking things from the moment that you can acknowledge and appreciate in terms of what heightens your arousal, gets you really turned on about your partner, and then you're able to express that to your partner afterwards. And you guys can bond over it, and you can create more and more positive memories around your sex life so that, like I said, both of you are more willing and wanting to have sex together. Make it an experience worth having again. And if you feel like she's not wanting sex, it's most likely because it's not worth having the experience again. Either she's not feeling connected, she feels pain, she could be feeling sexual shame, she could be just feeling distant from you, feeling sexually used, like she doesn't feel enough connection in other areas of the relationship and she feels like you just want to have sex. So really try to be curious about your woman if you're at the point where you're not having sex. That's a whole other topic, but the main thing here is be aware, be more aware of what you guys do in a sexual experience and what you appreciate and what turns you on, and share it with her. All right, I hope that helped you. I'm going to be talking on so many more tactics around this, especially specifically squirting, going down on her, revving her up and getting her warmed up before you even get into the bedroom so that you keep that arousal high outside the bedroom and in the bedroom. So that's what Master the Art of Her Pleasure Masterclass is. Go sign up. Like I said, the link is in the description and you could use the code April Masterclass. And I can't wait to see you guys there and help you out. There's also going to be a special gift for those of you who attend. So I'm really excited for that. And that's it. Have an amazing morning, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. I'll talk to you soon. I hope this episode helped you. If it did, I would love for you to leave me an iTunes review. It would mean the world to me. You can also screenshot your favorite episodes and tag me on Instagram at Steph Ganowski. And before I go, remember, your sex life is as good as you make it out to be. Until next time.